Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here back on the one for you. So guys, we all know that these 304s are out here trying to be strong and independent.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Clown world, right? And guys, part of this strong and independent thing is letting Chad, Tyrone, Gavin, starving artist, Nug Nug, Nugwang, just shoot up the club, right? And they don't think anything of it until that STD test comes back. And then they have the herp, derp, or the high five, right, guys? You know? And then what's the first thing that they do? They run to the internet and cry.
No, nothing, I'm just emotional. Why don't you understand that?
So guys, here we have a case of a chick. She's 23 and she has the high five, dude. 23 years old. And she's going to tell us the whole story. So guys, we'll get into this, but before we do, like, subscribe, and drop a comment, guys. I have a second channel called 50 and 304s. Check that out. I have a Discord. Check that out. There's a playlist at the end, and let's get into this.
So a lot of people are asking for a story time on who's responsible for my diagnosis.
You are.
If you don't know, I am 22 years old. I was diagnosed with HIV in August of 2023 at 21 years old.
21. Look at that.
Into it with y'all. So I was 21. It was March of 2023 when I got my last STI and HIV test, and that was negative. I had just turned 21. I was outside. I was doing my thing. No shame. It is what it is. But anyways, there's 3 people that I needed to tell from March to my diagnosis in August, and I'm gonna get into each of the people. Okay, so the first person we're gonna go back to, but the first person I met in April, and I had seen him probably once, twice a week.
Look at that.
Every week for maybe, let's say 2 months. So April, May, June, right? Okay. So the first person I had met in April, and I had been sleeping with him on and off, like just as a situationship from...
So basically, guys.
Y'all want to ask me what I'm doing? I'm outside home.
April to May and June, right? We'll call him Tom. And then I had met someone, and like we were more serious. I was with him from June to July, but it didn't last long due to just like issues. And the third person that I needed to tell, I had been with him from July to when I had been diagnosed in August.
Look at
so
that.
We'll call them 1, 2, and 3 in this scenario. So keep in mind the first person, I had been with him from April to June. It may be April to late May, to be honest. But late June, I started to develop a fever. I had 105 fever for 7 days straight. I went to the ER, and I was not tested for HIV because
Look at
I
that.
didn't meet the HIV standard, which is being gay or using drugs. I'm straight. I need to emphasize that. So anyways, had 105 fever for a week straight, and after that I just got sicker and sicker and sicker, and I had been in and out of the hospitals, doctors, nobody knew what was wrong with me, right? So we get to August, I'm in the hospital, I finally figure out that I'm HIV positive. I have to make 3 different phone calls to 3 different people because I, obviously, as hard as that was, I'm not gonna not tell these people because 1, they need to protect themselves, get tested, and I don't want to put someone else at risk, and 2, I want to know who's responsible, so I give their names to the Department of Health, obviously, and then I contacted them personally because I wanted to tell them. Now, I had 3 different reactions to my diagnoses, and I'll get into that. So the first reaction...
Guys, let's just pump the brakes right here. Guys, you know who's responsible? This knucklehead right here is responsible.
You stupid woman!
Clown World. Guys, she said that she was with 3 dudes, what? June, July, she found out in August. So in that summer, she had let 3 different dudes that she's telling us about. Clown World. Absolutely insane. She said it was like spring. I think it was like April, May, and then June, July, and then August. 3 different dudes. Come on, guys. Absolutely insane.
That's nasty.
He was sympathetic, he was so kind, like nice, and he was kind of confused. Like, I was like, okay, like, you need to go get tested, like, blah, 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 and he was kind of lost. Like, what does all of this mean? Like, what is HIV? Like, I'm just confused. Like, he was very, like, kind of immature to what was going on. But I also had no clue about this before, so it was fine. I guided him in the right way. He got tested, provided me negative results. The second person was my boyfriend at the time. He treated me so bad, barely asked if I was okay when I was in the hospital, didn't check on me. When I was in the hospital, I literally had to find somewhere for him to get tested, and this man was on the phone yelling at me, talking about, oh, I don't have health insurance, and like, who's gonna pay for this? Like, it was all about him, and like him being scared. Never comforted me. Like, he was just like, God showed me that he was not meant to be my boyfriend, and that was
because you put him at risk to get the high five, you absolute dunderhead.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
like a blessing in itself. At that time, it like upset me. I was devastated by that a little bit because like I had just been stigmatized, and like, you know, it was hard. But this is what I really want to talk about. This third person, okay? This third person, when I called him and I asked him, looking back now, at the time I had been in the hospital for literally 5 days, hadn't even seen the sunshine, so I just wanted to like get off the phone, do this conversation and get off the phone, you know? I call him and I said to him like, hi, you know, I've been diagnosed with HIV, and the first thing this man said to me was, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What's your treatment plan?
Whoa! Look at that. Guys, is she saying she doesn't know why the third guy was pissed off, right? Come on, man. Come on. And guys, she's saying she didn't know what the high five was? And that the other guy, guys, is this what our American school system's doing? It's putting people out there who have no clue about the high five? Come on now.
In that moment, like, we talked for a little bit after that. Like, he was like, oh, I'm here for you, blah, 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 like, XYZ. But he asked me what my treatment plan was. Why would you ask me what my treatment plan was unless you already had an understanding of HIV, right? So in the hospital, in the state that I'm in, they, the Department of Health will call you. They called me while I was in the hospital. They will call you and ask who you came into contact with, and they will ask for your sexual partner's first, last names, addresses if you have them, date of birth, whatever you have pertaining to these people, so they can, one, contact them as well and let them know, but two, like, it's a health risk. Like, these people need to be aware of my status because I came into contact with them point blank period. So I gave this information to the health department, and this third person that I asked, he was also the only person who literally could not provide me a negative test result. I asked him twice, he ignored me. He randomly disappeared in July. I started getting sick in June, and in July he randomly disappeared and moved to Texas. Like, he called me and was like, come see me, like, I'm leaving in 2 days, like, and I was like, no, I'm good, like, kind of get off that, like, I just didn't want any parts in him at that point. And I thought it was weird that he randomly abruptly moved. Like, it was just odd. His life was so established here in Tampa, like, I didn't understand it. But I didn't think much of it because at the end of the day, it didn't affect me in that moment. Later, I realized now that he's in a different state and the laws are so different, there was nothing I could do. I called lawyers, I talked to doctors, I asked so many people, like, is there anything more that I can do? And nobody could really help me. So that was really it as far as who's responsible. I don't necessarily know that he was responsible. My gut says that he was responsible, but I just, like, was kind of at odds with that, and I ultimately chose peace for my own sake, and that's my story as to who is responsible for me being diagnosed with HIV.
Okay. Look at that, guys. Yeah, I know that took long enough, right? But guys, they always say that us red pill guys, right? Anytime we say that girls shouldn't be 304s, it's
how dare you,
right? And guys, I'm not happy about this, but guys, this is what happens, right? Guys, we feel the same about chicks that have the high five and the herp derp as we feel about these guys that were dumb enough to believe that a chick was on birth control and then ended up in child support court, right? You should have protected yourself. You should have taken care of yourself, right? Guys, bad things happen from irresponsible behavior. And us red pill guys seem to be the only ones trying to advise, especially women, against irresponsible behavior. Absolutely insane. So guys, she has 4,400 comments. Someone says, Hi, I'm 50. I've been positive since I was 17. I have 3 kids and a negative husband, and all kids are negative too. Ugh.
That's nasty.
It's scary, but you'll be okay. So someone says, I like your videos. The only problem I have is that you don't tell people about PrEP. It's free and it prevents the high five. Someone says, social worker here, you're so brave. Please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Someone says, this needs to be talked about more. Someone says, this girl says, I've been abstinent for 7 years now, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Look at that. Look at that. Someone says, this scares me. I've been with 3 people in the last 20 years. Haven't been with anyone in over a year. I check myself once a year. Look at that. All these chicks are all, guys, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 chicks are all saying that they're abstinent too. Please.
Stop the cap.
Come on, man. Come on, dude. Guys, there's a lot of women walking around like this. Places like DC, Houston, Miami, right? Where there's a whole bunch of chicks that are all sleeping with all the same dudes. Guys, all it takes is one POOKIE, right? One Chad. And he can spray up the walls and get like 8, 9, 10, 12 chicks to have this. And they don't even know, right? Absolutely insane. Guys, there are hashtags. Hashtag high five positive. Hashtag healing jersey. Hashtag high five. All right, you guys. This is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one.